Guy, how far now?
Omo, I'm not really fine. Do you know they paid me last week and right now I can't even boost up to 10,000 naira in my account?
Seriously?
Yes.
Did you budget?
Which one is budgeting? Now I'm not a politician.
That's when your money is missing like NEPA lights.
But I didn't buy anything serious, shoes, bags, the thing that guys need now. And just like that, fiam, the money has disappeared.
But it's all these little things. That's why it's taking your money.
Nah. But what should I do?
See, you have to create a budget. You have to track your spending. You have to prioritize your needs over your wants. And you have to save before you spend, not the other way around.
So what you're trying to say that this money management thing is no child's play?
It's no child's play at all.
The Money Click is an annual financial literacy program to help you up your money game. The Money Click is not just about money, it's about mindset. So in the Money Click program, go beyond budgeting to rewire your thinking, to rewire your mindset, to change your thinking about income, to change your thinking about money management. So we'll help you grow your income, we'll help you manage it, we'll help you invest with confidence. Money is not just about what you know. Money is more about how you behave. And every day in the Money Click program, what we'll try to do is to influence how you behave about money. This is not just financial education. This is financial transformation. I will hope to see you become a part of it. Thank you.
Guy, how far now?
Omo, I'm not really fine. Do you know they paid me last week and right now I can't even boost up to 10,000 naira in my account?
Seriously?
Yes.
Did you budget?
Which one is budgeting? Now I'm not a politician.
That's when your money is missing like NEPA lights.
But I didn't buy anything serious, shoes, bags, the thing that guys need now. And just like that, fiam, the money has disappeared.
But it's all these little things. That's why it's taking your money.
Nah. But what should I do?
See, you have to create a budget. You have to track your spending. You have to prioritize your needs over your wants. And you have to save before you spend, not the other way around.
So what you're trying to say that this money management thing is no child's play?
It's no child's play at all.
The Money Click is an annual financial literacy program to help you up your money game. The Money Click is not just about money, it's about mindset. So in the Money Click program, go beyond budgeting to rewire your thinking, to rewire your mindset, to change your thinking about income, to change your thinking about money management. So we'll help you grow your income, we'll help you manage it, we'll help you invest with confidence. Money is not just about what you know. Money is more about how you behave. And every day in the Money Click program, what we'll try to do is to influence how you behave about money. This is not just financial education. This is financial transformation. I will hope to see you become a part of it. Thank you.
Okay, welcome and good morning to all the billionaires in the house and those who are not even billionaires. You are welcome here today. Yes, I see. I was just reading the comments before I came up, and I see a lot of people who are coming from Honor as a Skill webinar in the TIP, just like me. We are coming with our humility abada, and it was a wonderful time this morning. Thank you so much for honoring me and being here in time. I am glad. I am very, very, very sorry that we are starting this class late today. My apologies, my sincere apologies. Right? Thank you so much, because I know you have accepted. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right. So you are all welcome. Welcome. If you're a billionaire, you're welcome. If you're not yet a billionaire, you're welcome to. Remember, for those who are not billionaires that are wondering, who are these billionaires? Billionaires are members of the Money Click program, right? They are billionaires. Welcome to our very, 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 very special member from Ireland. Welcome to all of you joining us from different parts of the world. I see people from Canada here. I see people from the UK. I see people from Ireland. I see people from Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja, different parts of the world joining us for this program today. And I'm very glad to have you. All right. Okay. Link to join. Okay. We will not see link and not join again. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for accepting my apology. Thank you so much, Ma, for accepting it. All right. Okay, we're going to share link again though, so that those who are not in the money click will enter the money click. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you. It's been our morning started very well with the inner circle program today, and for those who are not in the inner circle, you need to be there. If you have a child, if you're raising a child, if you're a parent, you must be in a place where you are shaped every day, in a place where your mind is rewired every day to parent right? And that's where most of us are coming from. And then we're diving into the money webinar. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Yes, it's been a humble moment after the TIP webinar. We are all wearing that humility, Amada. All of us, we are all wearing it. My own is so big, in fact, I had to. It's just by my side here. Okay, so welcome to everybody, and today we're looking at understanding cash flow, right? Understanding cash flow. We want to see and understand why money enters and it still disappears. And if you were with us in the money management 101 course, right, I know that you're going to have a good idea of what we're going to be talking about today. If you did not participate in that course and you paid, right, that is also you dishonoring yourself, because you paid but you're not participating, you didn't do anything. Please go back and rewatch the course, right? If you did not, if you're not part of it at all, you didn't pay, you still have an opportunity to pay and get the replays. It's important that everybody goes through money management 101. If you want to win with your money, you must understand money management. Trust me, you must. Money management, like I'll always tell you, is the bridge between what you earn and how you invest. If you cannot manage money, you cannot invest, right? If you cannot manage money, you cannot multiply money. So it's important that we are all on the same page. So today we're going to be looking at understanding cash flow. You know, a lot of people earn money consistently, right? But they still live in constant financial tension. Salary comes in, salary goes out. The stress remains the same. And this confusion of salary coming in and it's going without trace is not an income problem. It is a cash flow problem. It's a cash flow problem. And one of the clearest frameworks for understanding cash flow is a book that we read last year in the Money Click program, right? Cash flow quadrants. Now, let's even understand what cash flow really is. You know, cash flow is the direction. Cash flow is the speed. Cash flow is the priority of money movement in your life. It's the direction of money movement in your life. It is the speed of money movement in your life. It's the priority that you give to money movement in your life. Cash flow answers questions like, where does money go first when it enters? Where does the money go first when it enters? The moment money enters your account, where does it go first? What pulls money out of you automatically? What controls your flow? Is it you that controls the flow, or is it circumstances? If you read my book, Building Your Financial Dam, then you will begin to also understand better how to begin to look at your money management as a flow. You need to look at it, understand it as a flow. Flow in and outflows, inflows and outflows. Managing money is like a dam. Have we ever seen a dam? Have we seen how a dam is? There are two things that the construction of a dam takes into cognizance. It is inflow of water and outflow of water. That's what makes a dam what it is. As the water flows in, it is utilized and it flows out. But every drop of water that flows out for a purpose. And every water that the dam retains is for a purpose. So we must begin to look at our money management from the point of a dam. And if we do that, it means that we need to concentrate on the flow. The flow is one thing you need to pay attention to. A lot of us earn well, but we lose control of the cash flow. So if your cash flow is not managed, you will lose control. Right? So why is it that money enters and money disappears out of our hands? Why is it that we do not have control over the flow? The only thing we have control over, most of us, is the inflow. The outflow, there's no control. There's no control over what goes out. As it's coming in, it's pouring out. Everything. Next month we wait for another one again. So why is it that money enters and still disappears? Why? Why is it that money enters and it still disappears? Right? The first reason is because money enters without a job. It enters without a job. You do not give a job, you do not give a purpose to your money. When there's no purpose for the money that has entered, it will leave without a trace. When income enters your account without an assigned role, then spending will start competing with itself. Emergencies would compete. Emotions would take over. You see, money without an instruction will always find an exit. Money without instruction will find an exit. And the thing is, you would not know which exit it will take. Like I said, we need to begin to guard our money. We need to begin to manage our money like a dam. That's the only time we begin to give instructions to every penny that comes in. To every penny that comes in. Everything about the dam is controlled. Every drop of water out of a dam has done its purpose before it's let out. Anytime water is released from a dam, it is for a purpose. It's either they are trying to generate hydroelectric power, or they are trying to push water for irrigation, or one purpose or the other. If you've not read this book, Building Your Financial Dam, then there's something you're missing out. Trust me. Trust me, there's something you're missing out. It's one book that you have to read. Right? So you must ensure that every kobo has a purpose. And that's why I would always tell you, there is no managing money when you don't have a financial goal. If you don't have a goal for your money, then already you started failing, because it means that there is no destination. The goal is the destination. You must have a destination. If you don't have a destination, everywhere becomes a destination. Number two is that your cash flow is reactive, not designed. That's why your money enters and your money disappears. Your cash flow is reactive. You don't have a designed cash flow. Your cash flow has not been designed to work in a system. You do not have a financial dam yet. So many people spend in response, not as a result of a plan. People spend in response to pressure. People spend in response to stress. People spend in response to family needs. People spend in response to social obligations. People spend in response to inflation shock. See, a lot of us have zero plan for our money. Every every dime we spend is a response. Oh, somebody calls from somewhere and say, they said that this person did this. You respond. You send money. I'll give you an example. Something happened yesterday. We had a little family meeting yesterday, and so my mother brought a request about a relative in the village, and this relative, they said the relative needed to buy one machinery for her business and all that. And my mother was saying that if we could we please help the person out and all that. So I told her we'll help the person, but we're not going to help the person as if her emergency has become our emergency. She's going to wait between 3 to 6 months for us to be able to have enough money in the family emergency purse to be able to help her. In the family, so every month we put some money together in the purse. The money will use it to help people and do some other things. And we said We can't just because her request comes now and she's coming to us like, oh, it's an emergency. That doesn't mean we should respond. There's a plan, right? There's a plan. So she will go and wait in line. And she might not be able to get until in the next 6 months, but she'll have to join in the line. We're not here to respond. If you respond in your money management, then you're going to have a problem. If the way you spend money is by responding, you will have issues. Responding would have been us saying, oh, she needs how much for the machine? Okay, let's gather money and give it to her. That's responding. That's spending money in response. It has to be planned. In fact, by the time that I'm done, my brother said, nah, this is your financial coaching thing now. Wow. I said, okay. I said, don't worry, Bobby, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But our emergency is not our emergency. We're not going to absorb it as our emergency. So there's a plan on how to help people. She will go and wait in line for that plan. And she will wait in line for it to mature to get to her. If it takes 6 months, no problem. But if she's not willing to wait, then no Allah. But that she needs the machinery now to do so and so, it is not our emergency. It is not, and it cannot become our emergency. Right? It cannot. So a lot of times we're just reactive. My mom wanted us to be reactive. She wanted, this woman, oh, she's crying, oh, please let's help her. Oh. No. I've built my emotions control to the point where I can't be reactive to spending. There needs to be a plan in place before that can happen. Now, if we're going to be reactive, it means that we're going to be spending money within plan, buying a machinery we never had in mind we're supposed to buy for somebody in the next few weeks. And that is going to affect somebody's plan, somebody's finances. So we need to make sure that every point in time, before we do anything, we're asking ourselves, are we being reactive or is this according to plan? For us to buy or help that woman, then we need to plan for it. And it might take us the next 6 months to plan. So that we do not affect our own plans for our personal lives. Some of us spend in response to stress. The moment we're stressed, that's when we start spending. Some of us spend in response to family needs. You cannot respond immediately to every family need. You can't. If you do it, you burn your finances out. Guess what? Needs would always arise and they will come as if they're emergencies. But you must always have that cushion to receive it like a shock absorber and bounce back and tell them, wait. You have to wait. You know, there's something I always tell people. When requests come to you from especially extended families, they come like as if they are going to die without you. But trust me, if you're not around today, they will survive. So don't ever think that their survival is dependent on you or that it is dependent on that particular thing that they are asking you for. It's not. So you must learn to control your emotions if you must control your cash flow. Some people spend money in response to social obligations. Oh, they said where there's party. They said there's this. You go and spend money. Some people spend money because they said we should do this. Oh, they said this person just died. Oh, they are contributing money. Then you now go and contribute money that you never planned to take out. It's not by force to contribute. If it is not in your plan, if you don't have it to plan that, okay, every month I have certain amount of money set aside for certain kind of emergency contributions, do not go into it. That is you responding. See, money flows after life happens, not before. You need to understand that for you to manage your cash flow, you must design it. It has to be designed. If your cash flow is reactive, trust me, you will not have anything left for yourself. And part of that design should make your money management become if make you more selfish with your money. I will tell you this every day. You need to have some level of selfishness for your money if you must win with money. You see, people who never win with money are people who are too emotional, who feel they are too selfless. If you're too selfless with money, you will burn money you're not supposed to. So you must design your cash flow. You must make it designed. And you part of that design is ensuring that it is protected from emotions reactions. Number 3 is daily outflows are faster than inflows. Talking about why money enters and disappears is because your daily outflows are faster than your inflows. Right? So you earn monthly income, but the money you spend on a daily basis goes out faster than the money that comes in. See, for you to understand what I mean here, when you earn money in a month, for those who earn monthly, divide your monthly salary by day, divide it by 30 days. And as you spend through the day, I'm not talking about lump sum payments and all that, daily spending, you need to ask yourself, how much am I earning in a day? How much am I spending today? One way to curtail yourself is knowing what your salary per day is, so that you can know if you're spending beyond your cash inflow. For some of us, what goes out of us every day is faster than what comes into us every day when you measure it by the day. Some people earn hourly. Ask yourself, out of all the hours in the month, right, do I spend more per hour than I earn? And for some of us, that's the problem. Money leaves us faster than it comes in. Right? It leaves us faster than it comes in. Our outflows are faster than our inflows. Why? Because sometimes money comes to us in lump sum. When the income is paid, maybe you're paid at the end of the month, at the end of the week, you forget that at the end of it all, you need to be able to know per day, per hour, how much you're making. And when you're spending, you cannot be making $15 per hour, but your daily spending is more than that per hour. Your hourly spending is more than that per hour. You cannot be making 15,000 naira every day, but every day you see yourself spending more than that on a daily basis. It means that your outflow is faster than your inflow, and you're going to pay for that mistake. You will pay for that mistake. Right? So one of the things that we must take very, very important on our money management journey is our cash flow. Is our cash flow. Now, there are different ways that money comes to us. Also, improving your cash flow, your inflow is essential to managing your cash flow. See, you don't take what is it called, a dam, and you go to a place where source of inflow is smaller, right? You don't put it on a river that does not have high flow. You don't put it on a small river. You build the dam on a big river. Why? Because you want a lot of inflow. Part of the problem with our money management system, or part of the problem with our cash flow system, is the inflow. So the problem is not just the outflow alone. A lot of times we concentrate on the outflow because that is where your discipline lies. It lies in how you spend. But another problem that we have is how we earn. Sometimes it could just be that the inflow is just too small. It could just be that the inflow is not enough. Right? And how you earn money will determine the extent to which the inflow is sustainable or not. Now, I'm going to explain to you the 4 quadrants according to Kiyosaki. Right? Kiyosaki's 4 quadrants of cash flow. So Kiyosaki explained how you earn money is determined, or rather determines how your cash flow behaves. The quadrant has 4 sides: a side for E, a side for S, a side for B, and a side for I. Right? I'm going to try to put up an image of that cash flow so that we'll have a very good understanding of what this cash flow is about. So the image is coming up, right? It's going to come up. So on the cash flow quadrant of Kiyosaki, on the top side, we have 2, E and B. On the bottom side, we have on the left-hand side, we have S and we have I, right? The E's are the employees. The S are the self-employed. The B are the business owners. The I are the investors. Most people operate in the E and the S. And this is where the cash flow problems are almost common. When you're an employee or you're self-employed, that's where the cash flow problem is always common. Remember, we're talking about inflow now, not outflow. In cash flow, there are 2 forms of cash flow: cash inflow and cash outflow. Cash outflow, like we just finished, is dependent on a lot of things. It's dependent on your goals for your money. Your cash outflow is dependent on your emotions. It's dependent on your design. Your cash outflows is dependent on your discipline to manage your money. But your cash inflow now is dependent on how you earn. Your cash inflow is dependent on how you earn. So the problem sometimes might be as a result of your cash inflow. It's not always the outflow that is always does the problem. The inflow too is part of the problem, right? So for the E's, that is employees, there's a certain pattern for spending. They earn, they spend, and they start hoping. Employees are very predictable, and employees earn predictably. But the problem with being an employee is that if work stops, earning stops, income stops. Taxes, expenses hit them first. Cash flow for an employee depends strictly on discipline, especially outflow, right? And employees there's a certain way that money moves through a typical employee. Salary comes, there's family requests, there are bills, there's emergencies, there's a lot of things. So without structure, your income disappears fast when your inflow comes in as you being an employee, comes in as a salary. So without discipline, without a structure, and you have an inflow as an employee, you will make a lot of mistakes. So understanding your cash inflow determines how you manage your outflow, right? Another form of inflow is being self-employed. Self-employed people, they often earn more, but the problem is that their income is irregular, right? And sometimes a lot of people who make money as self-employed people mix up business money and personal money. They can't even differentiate them. They have no systems also to separate their cash flow. So for a lot of them, they also have a good cash inflow, but their outflow is also uncontrolled. And that's why people find themselves in a fix where today is as if everything is okay. Tomorrow, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Why? Because there's no system, there's no structure. And that's why yesterday in the live, I was telling someone that the best thing you can do for yourself when you know that you have an irregular income. Most people who have irregular incomes are self-employed people. What you need is a structure to make your income regular. There are days when you earn more. right? There are days when you don't earn at all. There are days when you earn astronomically high. You need to put yourself in a system where even if you earn so high, so high, you also earn at a certain level. If you earn so low, you're also earning at the same level. What do I mean? The days that you earn more covers for the days that you don't earn at all. You tell yourself, I would pay myself 1 million, but there are days you make 100 million. There are days you're going to make more than that. There are days you're going to make nothing at all. Now, when it's a system, you're sure you're going to have enough money to keep paying you for the rest of the year and more years ahead. Why? Because you have a structure. So you have structured not just your outflow, your inflow also is also structured. So a lot of people that have that are self-employed, they struggle with structuring their inflow. Their inflow is so irregular that sometimes they have to they get into the fix of having to borrow because their outflow remains the same. Their outflow does not change. Why? Because their expenses do not change. Instead, some of the times it even increases. But the inflow is irregular. You earn well today, you spend it all. Tomorrow, you don't earn at all. How do you do it? You still borrow money and the spending remains constant. So people who are self-employed have more work to do when it comes to cash flow stabilization. And it starts from their income. Most times the problem they have is in structuring their income. Right? So one of the reasons why the E's and the S's, right? The E's and the S struggle with cash flow is because one, their money depends on time and efforts. Right? Number two is that their money is exposed to emergencies. Number three is that their money is spent before it is structured. If your money is not structured, you spend money before you think about structure, you'd have issues. The next is because their money is vulnerable to inflation and pressure. Right? So the problem that the person in the E and the S has is that their cash flow is not engineered. And that will bring us to the remaining two cash flows, which is the business owner and the self-employed. The business owner means that they have a system that controls flow. Business owners build systems where money flows whether they are there or they are not there. An employee does not earn without being present. A self-employed person does not earn without being present. Right? Does not earn without being present. They have to be present to earn. But when you build the business, then you know that you are earning money whether you're there or you're not. I'm going to give you an example, a story. Most times people who are self-employed see themselves as business owners. You see a lot of us who say, we have a business, we're running a business. But the essence is not a business. You're just self-employed. The difference between being self-employed and being a business owner. A self-employed person, money making depends on you. As a business owner, money making depends on a system. And for some of us that I've got to speak to about this before, I've told a lot of people, you need to structure and put systems in your business. If your business revolves around you, it is not a business. If your business revolves around you alone, then you're just self-employed. Right? Thank you very much for that, admin. So we see the E, the S, the B, and the I. S and B's are the most confused. So I always tell this story about the village and the lake. So a village had a lake, and the villagers called two people, said, we want you to be the two people that will supply water to this village from the lake, because the lake is quite some distance from the village. So the first person started off immediately. He's bought 2 buckets, got to work, no time, started walking, hauling water from the lake to the village every day. Yeah, he did it Monday to Friday. He realized that demand was too high. He added Saturday, right? But the problem was that sometimes he will be sick. There's no way he can take water and go and supply it to people because he's sick. Sometimes it could be that he's just stressed. He needs to rest. In fact, on Sundays, he doesn't work because he has to rest. Right? Now, on the other hand, the second person decided that he was going to go back. He told them, no problem, I've heard what you said, but I will need time to plan to be able to supply water to you. It took 6 months. Went back, created a system that brings water from the lake to the village, a pipe-borne water system. A system where the water is pulled from the lake, it enters a reservoir, the water is treated, the water is purified, gets into another reservoir, and is pumped through taps to different parts of the village. Now, when he did that, he was able to create a system. He created a system where water supply is constant. Unlike the person who started hauling with buckets, he was able to provide water 24 hours of the day, 7 days of the week, non-stop, because he created the system for water supply. He had people working for him. It was all planned out. And guess what? He didn't have to be there. He created a system where he even sold the water cheaper than the man who was carrying it with the buckets. He sold it cheaper. Right? He sold it cheaper. And it was available. And it was even purified. The man who was hauling from bucket, there was no way to purify. He was just scooping and supplying to people. At some point, he carried truck, but it still wasn't enough. The water was not clean. So at some point, people abandoned the man who was hauling with his hands and with the truck and faced the one that came from the tap. It was more available, it was cheaper, and it was purified. The second person created a system to supply water. The first person was simply self-employed. 2 people had the same opportunity to do one thing. One person went the approach of self-employed, one person went the approach of business, real business. So what makes your business a business is creating a system. A lot of us run businesses, there is no system. The day we don't show up, our business is shut down. Let's move on. The next are the eyes, right? The eyes, which are the investors. And the eyes are people who make money work for them. Remember, one thing about the E and the S is that they make money with their time, right? We make money with our time. Now, one of the most difficult things for most people to do, especially as E's, is to move from E to go and start running a business, because the mindset is not the same. See, people in E want safety. They want security. Running a business is risk. They don't have that mindset of a business owner. So the only way people in E can assure that their future inflow is controlled is by becoming an I. Is by making money work for them. It's difficult to move from E to B. The easiest way is to move from E to I. And that's why every day we preach to people that they should learn to invest. Now, there's something characteristic about people whose cash inflow is coming from B and I. One characteristic that summarizes it is passive income. They earn passively. They don't have to be there for money to come to them every day. Right? The B's and the I's. Money comes to them regardless of what happens. Why? Because they earn passively. The E and the S earn actively because they earn with their time, they earn with their strength, They earn with their skills. The goal of money is to move from earned income to passive income. So if you find yourself in the B, in the E, try to move to the I. That's the easiest place for you to move to. If you find yourself in the S, find a way to also move to the I, or bring in systems to move to B. Also, as an E, you can also decide that you want to become a B. It's possible. You can also decide that you want to become an I. But the most important thing is that you're looking towards creating cash inflow that doesn't run dry. And how you create a cash inflow that never runs out is by making people work for you, creating systems, having a business, or by becoming an investor and having money work for you. Right? So for investors, money flows back to you. Right? You invest in assets, you receive passive income, compounding works for you. But becoming an investor requires you to delay gratification. Requires you to delay gratification. And there are skills required for you to begin to earn and get cash inflow as an investor. So the quadrants teach us one powerful truth, right? It's not just how much you make that matters when you talk about cash inflow. It is how money comes to you. So in understanding our cash flow, we need to look at the inflow and we need to look at the outflow. Right? For some people, all their income flows outward. For you to become a business owner or an investor, then it means that you need to make sure that the system in your outflow is strong enough to direct money to building either a business or investing money in certain things, in assets. Your outflow must be systemized. Your outflow must be designed. You cannot afford to have an outflow that is not designed. You cannot afford to have an outflow that does not bring something back to you. Your outflow has to be able to bring something back to you. Right? A lot of us do not have systems that redirect money into assets. All our outflows are to spending. We spend everything. But let me shock you. There would be a time when you will no longer have the strength that you have today to earn as you earn today. And when that time comes, you will be dependent on the outflows that you should have directed all your life. And if you did not do that, then it means that two things are left for you. It's either you depend on your children at old age, or you depend on the pension that will never be enough. All right. Okay, let's move on. Right? So there are so many instances of people mismanaging their flows, their cash flows. The salary earner with no savings that has a lot of people depending on that same salary. Even the business owner who is using sales money to solve personal emergencies. That freelancer who is earning well, but he's living mouth to mouth. That same trader who is making sales every day but is saving nothing. As a trader, you're not even a business owner. You're self-employed. Especially when your trading is not systemized. So a lot of us, money enters, but it has no return path. You need to start thinking, I need to create a return path for my money. This money needs to generate something for me. This money needs to give me something back in return. You can't just earn in a whole month and there's no plan. There's no path for that money to follow to bring something back to you again. That money does not yield anything again. That's an error. Right? So let's look at how to fix that flow. How to fix that flow? The first thing to do is to give money a role. Make it immediate, pre-planned. Before spending, before you spend, before the money even comes in, you need to set aside a system to save. Right? Number two, you need to separate personal and business cash flow. For a lot of people who run ventures, you need to be able to separate your business and your personal income cash flow. Number three, you have to reduce time for money dependence. You have to reduce the time for money dependence. You need to every day, your goal in life every day is to make yourself more and more less dependent on money or time for money. And that is what financial independence is about. It's about liberating yourself from the shackles of using your time for money. And the only way that you can liberate yourself from the shackles of using your time for money is by ensuring that the money that you're making from using your time is going towards creating something that will give you money without using your time. So you are an E, you find yourself as an S, you must build savings, you must build investment, you must build systems. Right? You must build systems. And number four, you have to build assets gradually. Assets don't need to be big. They just need to be consistent. Right? You must teach your cash flow how to return back to you. Your cash flow must learn to return. You must learn to return. Right? There must be something you're gaining back from that flow. You see, when a dam is built and water flows out of that dam, that water that flows has already served the purpose before it flows out of the dam. It served the purpose. And the purpose it served is not just the purpose for waste, it's a purpose to return back to the system. So as it's flowing, it's generating electricity. Even after the water has flowed out to generate electricity, it goes on to do other good deeds as well. It goes on to help for irrigation. It goes on to be used for water supply to communities and all that. So the thing is, a lot of people are not stuck because they lack ambition. It is because all their money flows one way, without purpose. And that one way their money flows is out, spending. Wealth begins when money starts coming back to you. What is actually wealth? Wealth is when you have enough passive income to cater for all your expenses. How does passive income come? It comes from you directing your cash flow, cash outflow to something that brings money back to you. So you must focus and ensure that the money flowing out of you starts bringing something back. It needs to bring something back. You need to ask yourself, in the last 1 year, how much has flowed out of me? And how much was able to bring something back to me? Right? So we're going to end here. We're going to end with this. We're going to end, and I want you to have in mind that if money keeps entering your life and it keeps disappearing, don't ask yourself, why am I not earning enough? That's not just the question you should ask yourself. That's not the first question. The first question to ask yourself is, where is my cash outflow designed to go? See, if you check the money that you've made in the last 20 years of your life, only if you had started, by now, you would have generated enough income generating assets to at least cater for half of your needs every month, every year. Once you can control the direction of your flow, then you can determine the purpose it will serve. Because once you control direction, money stops vanishing and it starts working. And the job that you should have at the back of your mind every day is to make your money work. But your money cannot work if you're not intentional about where it flows to. So you must be intentional about the flow of your money. You must be intentional about the inflow, but more intentional about the outflow. See, you can also have a lot of inflow, but if you do not have control over your outflow, it will not amount to anything. Right? It will not amount to anything. So your goal is to ensure that money flowing out of you is bringing something in return for you. To let that become part of your long-term goal. That at some point you take the back seat and you let money do the work. But it starts from you starting small. It's not about when you have money accumulated. No, it starts from small. Every month, set aside something. Tell yourself, this money is for my future self. This money is for investing. Set it aside every single month. Because sometimes the way we spend money, I wonder if we think about tomorrow at all. I wonder if we think, what if something happens to this job today? What will happen to me tomorrow? What if this venture crumbles today? What will happen to me tomorrow? You know, somebody told a story once of how the father went from being someone running a high venture driven business to nothing. And that eventually killed the father. They had a very good venture where they sold drugs in Lagos in the 80s, in the 90s. The father was big, right? The father was big. They had like 4 shops selling drugs in Lagos. He was rolling business income in multi-millions. Then a tragedy befell them one day. And that tragedy happened to be that fire caught all the shops at the same time. Now, after that thing happened, yes, the man still had some money tucked in somewhere that he fell back to. He took the money, went into the transport business without understanding how it worked, and he lost everything. Some he lost to the transport business, some he lost to so-called investments that he didn't understand. At the end of the day, because of the shock that came with how this man went from here to here, he lost his life. He developed health issues and he lost his life. Now, running that kind of venture, he had the opportunity to create back inflow back to him from what came to him. He had the opportunity to determine or set up investment that will pay him back, regardless of him doing anything, not doing anything. That's the goal. The goal is for you to get to a level where you can tell yourself, what I'm doing now, I can decide not to do it again, and money will still keep coming back. That's wealth. That's wealth. Right? That's wealth. So we need to begin to have that consciousness of wealth in us. And remember, like I always tell you, it is not about how much. Wealth is not about you becoming Dangote or P2B. No. We have our lives at different levels. If what caters for your needs today is 5 million a year, what means is that if you're able to have enough passive income in the range of 5 million a year, you've achieved wealth. If what caters for your needs is 100 million and you're able to have enough income generating assets to give you 100 million every year, you've achieved wealth. You know, one thing that I always look around is you see people like P2B goes from one place to another, he's doing donations. People think it's about money he's making now. Yes, he keeps making money. But one thing people fail to understand is that this man is busy with other things, but he keeps doling out money here and there. Why? Because the source of the money is not dependent on him being in those places. The source of his money is independent of him because of systems, because of investments. Because he understood a long time ago that he needed to direct his cash flow to areas where it will return cash back to him. So you have to create a return path for your money. And that's why when people see people that have gotten to that point where the return path is giving them enough to cater for their needs, they think they flew from heaven. No, they did the work. So you need to do the work. You need to dedicate time and energy to that work. And part of it is learning and understanding different avenues that can return that money back to you. That's what investing is about, right? And come next month, most of all our teachings, not most, all our teachings is going to be directed towards investing. All. So stay on, especially for those who are in the Money Click program. We're going to be going in depth into different more forms of investment from next week. From next week, which will be next month. All right. That's where we end the class for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, we're always here on Thursdays on YouTube by 12, and we are on Instagram and even YouTube is also on Wednesdays by 12. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, we have live sessions continually every single week. We don't miss it for anything in the world. We're always here, always here. Whether it's raining or the sun is shining or there's an eclipse, trust that we're going to be here. Thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of this program. Remember that the Money Click program is coming up in the month of March. If you've not registered for the Money Click program and you are here, there's something that you're missing. And what you're missing is what we call rewiring. You're missing to be rewired. You're missing out on knowledge. You're missing out on a lot of things on the path to help you become the person you need to be for your future, right? So the Money Click program is opening up in March for the March cohort. So if you missed the January cohort, this is another opportunity for you to become part of this great community. Now, March cohort doesn't mean that you're missing out on something. March cohort runs on the same curriculum as the January cohort. The only thing is that you have 2 months of catch-up to do. That's the only difference with the March cohort. So if we're having monthly classes or master classes in the Money Click January cohort, March cohort will have 2 monthly master classes. You're just on a faster pace. But it's the same thing, exactly the same thing that you're learning with those in the January cohort. So the March cohort is an opportunity if you've missed out on the January cohort. So please, if you have friends, family, or you yourself, you're here and you missed out on the January cohort, ensure to be in the March cohort. And if you're already in the January cohort and you have friends that you know that this program will help them, please send them this flyer and the links for them to register. You could just be saving someone's life. Trust me. Just by bringing them in the Money Click program, you could be saving someone's life, right? You could be liberating someone from years of financial shackles, right? And also remember that we'll have the Money Click Kids program also opening up also in the month of March, right? The Money Click Kids program is a financial program for children, a financial literacy program for children, because we want to catch them early. We want to be able to have the chance to program their mindsets towards money so that they don't become adults and start reprogramming all over again, right? So this is an opportunity. If you are a parent, your child has no business not being in the Money Click Kids program. Trust me, you need to bring them in. You need to bring them in. I will always tell you this. There are 2 things that affect us in life, whether we like it or not: money and health. Money and health. See, you could do everything right, but you don't get it right with your children and money. They could become the best professionals in the world. Trust me, high earners. But if their money game is not right, they will still fall back to you. They'll still be dependent on you. You will still know that there's something missing out because money issues do not hide itself. They show. So bring them to learn now, and you're going to be glad you did in years to come. My name is Chukwemeka Onyenizi. Thank you so much, Ma, for your commitment to be in the Money Click program. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Thank you, everybody who is here. The Money Click program is one program that if you follow through you will begin to understand. Especially for young adults who are here listening, kudos to you for being here. Kudos to you for making that time to be here to understand how money works. Because what a lot of adults are learning today are things that if they had the opportunity, that you young adults who are here today had the opportunity to learn when they were younger, then they would have done better with their money by where they are today. So you have an opportunity to start early. You have an opportunity to change things for yourself. You have an opportunity to ensure that your money story does not take away time from you, because everything is dependent on time. Compounding is dependent on time. So if you're in your 20s, you have that opportunity to start learning now and start winning with money early, right? The earlier you start winning with money, the better for you. Okay. And so thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Please commit to always being here. Commit, if you're a Money Click member, commit to always attending webinars. Commit to always being here every Thursday. We're going to teach something that would help you on the path for you to become better with money. Thank you so much, everyone. This is where we'll end it for today. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Guy, have fun now.
Omo, I'm not really fine. Do you know they paid me last week, and right now I can't even boost up to 10,000 naira in my account?
Seriously?
Yes.
Did you budget?
Which one is budgeting? I'm not a politician.
That's why your money is missing like NEPA lights.
But I didn't buy anything serious, shoes, bags, the thing that guys need now. And just like that, fiam, the money has disappeared.
But it's all these little things. That's what is taking your money.
Nah. But what should I do?
See, you have to create a budget. You have to track your spending. You have to prioritize your needs over your wants. And you have to save before you spend, not the other way around.
So what you're trying to say that this money management thing is no child's play?
It's no child's play at all.
The Money Click is an annual financial literacy program to help you up your money game. The Money Click is not just about money, it's about mindset. So in the Money Click program, go beyond budgeting to rewire your thinking, to rewire your mindset, to change your thinking about income, to change your thinking about money management. So we'll help you grow your income, we'll help you manage it, we'll help you invest with confidence. Money is not just about what you know. Money is more about how you behave. And every day in the Money Click program, what we'll try to do is to influence how you behave about money. This is not just financial education. This is financial transformation. I will hope to see you become a part of it. Thank you.